Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about the 30% tax ruling that you get here in the Netherlands, and I'm going to talk about it because I have experience in it, because I have the 30% tax ruling. So I'm just going to talk about it from my perspective. I'm going to keep it very short and sweet. A lot of people always wants to know about it, and I'm basically just going to talk about more or less like a general, like who does it apply to, what benefits you get, and then for how long it lasts, and also like what happens when you switch employers during that time. So getting into it straight, I'm going to start with who gets it usually. And also, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, and let's jump into it. So let's say, just basically, I'm just going to read it off here. The 30% ruling is a Dutch tax exemption for employees who were hired abroad to work in the Netherlands. And basically, you just need to meet various conditions, and then you basically, how it works is 30% of your salary won't get taxed. So it's basically 70% of your salary, 70% of your salary will be taxed by normal scales, whatever, and 30% will just be paid out to you. So 30% you get tax-free, 70% you pay taxes on. So that's obviously a nice benefit you get, and generally it applies to highly skilled immigrants. So it's people, there's obviously like a list of things, like I'm not 100% sure like who does it include, and that's probably something you can just like read up on a list. But there are basically like these conditions that you need to meet to be eligible. So basically, the employee works for an employer that is registered with the Dutch tax office and pays Dutch payroll tax. So that is the employer itself. And then the employer and employee have to agree in writing that the ruling is applicable. So you obviously sign a form. There's like a specific form you sign for that. And the employee has to be transferred from abroad or has to be recruited abroad. So you basically, like in my situation, we had recruiters from the company I started working at coming to South Africa, and they recruited us from South Africa. And then for the employee has to be, the employee did not reside within 150 kilometers from the Dutch border for the last 18 out of 24 months at the time of hiring. So obviously I was in South Africa, it's way further than 150 kilometers, so I checked that box. And then the employee's salary meets the minimum requirements, and in 2020 it was 38,000 euros, 347 rand. So there's a minimum obviously salary that you need to receive, annual salary, and then the employee needs to have expertise that is scarcely available in the Netherlands, and that's the highly skilled part. So usually, like I know obviously chartered accountants, so some accountants, I know engineers, I wonder if teachers, I'm not 100% sure what it is, but you just have to have like high skills, and then also that's a bit scarce, and then you obviously are eligible. And then once you're eligible, basically your employer organizes everything. You need to sign a form, and then, like for me, it took more or less 4 months to, like I started in January, and I think January, February, March, April, end of April, end of May, I cannot remember, but 4 or 5 months, that's how long it took to, you know, take place and to take effect. And then they basically back pay you. So for example, from say it took 5 months, so from January till May I paid tax on my 100% of my salary, and then when it like takes effect, the company back paid me that 30% tax that I paid on those 5 months. So it's a nice saving that you get eventually, like in May or whenever it takes effect. And then for how long is it available for? So you have it for 5 years. It used to be 8 years, but now it's 5 years, and then during that 5 years obviously you get that benefit. You get the benefit of exchanging your license. So you're just given, like for example, your South African license, driver's license, and then they give you exchange for a Dutch or a EU license. And then I think you have like study advantages or benefits. I know when you buy a house there's some sort of benefit, but there are several other benefits. With the housing, I know it only applies to the portion you have left of your 5 years, so it's obviously then more beneficial if you buy a house earlier. And then basically you need to make sure, if you're changing jobs, you need to make sure that obviously your next employer, you know, also have all the things in place to be able to provide you with the 30% ruling. So they are basically registered with the Dutch payroll and tax authorities and all those things. And then basically they need to apply for you, so they can only do that once they have you on the payroll. So say your effective date of your employee contract is 1 January, they can only apply then, based on my understanding. And then yeah, basically have the same form, and then it just will be brought over from your previous employer to your current one, but you need to be on top of it. I think that there's like a period of 4 months that it needs to be yeah, taken over. Otherwise I think it might, yeah, you might lose it. I'm not 100% sure, but you have 4 months, yeah, based on what I know. So that's basically it. If there's anything else you want to know about it, please leave comments down below. But just to sum it up, basically you only pay taxes on 70% of your salary. It's available for 5 years. There's obviously those list of things you need to adhere to be eligible, and then yeah, you obviously get those benefits. So that is basically it. I don't think there's something else. It's very simple, but there's a lot of people asking how it works and who it applies to. So yeah, if you have comments, leave it down below, and then I'll see you next week with a new video. Bye bye.